I like the fact that we sort of I like doing the informative stuff more than you guys do, I think. I like that people who actually like cats might be interested in this.
I think your bits are a great sample of informative that are funny.
And I think your tits are a great sample of something that tastes good.
I think
Thank
the segments and games are a great way to like be informative.
And I think your nipples are gamey and hairy.
Well, all right. That's
I think one shirtless ep would be fun.
Would be good.
Yeah. And no one would know. Only the clips.
Only Madam makes the clips.
No, he's like, it's interesting. I listened to that episode. They never mentioned it.
No, it's just on the clips. That would be funny if it was always shirtless and nobody knew until they saw the clips. And they're like, they never even talk about it.
We're finally putting up all our clips.
Just a year later, finally, we've been recording all of them. And you find out they're shirtless. That's a great bit. Welcome to PuzzyBoyz, everybody, the only and therefore #1 podcast for real men who love their cats. I stumbled. Sorry, everybody.
You begged to do
That
this.
was good. You did really great. I liked it.
I practiced in front of the mirror. I practiced for my cats. My name is Adam Newman, and Greg and Holiday are my 2 cat babies.
Hi, I'm Nick Maritato. Lily is the name of my cat.
I'm Danny Solomon, and my boy is Marv.
My name is Zach Broussard, and my little kitty cat, who I love so much, is named Mochi. I also have a son.
That's true.
I just think that's funny.
Boring.
Yeah.
It's so funny to talk about a cat so much on this podcast while I'm just leaving a little child.
You're leaving him to do this podcast.
Yeah, sorry,
hours
son.
at a time.
You got to learn to bathe yourself.
Anyway, let's stop talking about your son. That was enough for the day because I need to tell everybody that together, the 4 of us are big, giant PuzzyBoyz. And remember, please, at home, if you're looking for us, that's PuzzyBoyz with all Z's for no particular reason.
Yeah, baby. I added that to our little
It
doc.
shocked me, and I loved it so much.
That was actually your son.
Oh, no.
I stepped on his foot.
Come home, Daddy.
Okay, so we have a topic for today, and this topic was brought up by none other than the Danny Solomon, because he's very interested in the mind of a cat.
Right, but before
Hey, hold on.
Thank you. Before we do that, I thought are we going to do our cat of the week? Or are we a week in cat?
Oh, we should. Let's introduce a brand new topic that is called This Week in Cat. All right, I need a new sound, but we'll get more sounds next week. Does anybody have like a fun story that they want to share? It doesn't have to be with their cat, but it could. But just like a catty story.
I got one. I sent the group text. I think right after, literally the day after we recorded this last one, I made the mistake a few days ago of leaving the tub of greenies out on an end table in the living room. And when my wife woke up before me and took some pictures, which I sent to you guys, she found the entire tub. It's a brand new. I'd opened it like a day earlier, and it was just scattered all along the living room floor. And Greg, I imagine Holiday ate a little bit of it, but I think Greg ate a little more than half of a tub of greenies. No barf. There was no barf anywhere. I did pick him up, and he weighed significantly more. I could tell that he weighed more. He slept all day, which is also kind of normal for a cat, but I think it was a little bit more of a food-induced coma kind of sleep. And that night and the next morning, the dumps were significantly
That was a Costco-sized one.
It was a
That
huge
was a
tub.
giant
It's not even
tub.
Costco. I have, and I'm not here to support Amazon by any. I'll sit here and sing the praises of.
Is it bootleg greenies or is it?
No, I go name
Yeah,
brand.
Costco's the real deal when you go there.
Yellowies.
Gronies.
Everybody laughed at Yellowies. Gronies
yeah,
is way better.
Gronies and Yellowies are both
Gronies.
Thank you. I would have preferred the cat sound on that one,
Sure.
actually, but
That was a cat complaining
Now,
that these are
I
not.
do like the idea of the turd coming out as one long greenie.
Yeah.
That seems very fun to me.
You, as people, you guys have pooped green before, I imagine, right? I've researched it. It's not. There's unhealthy and healthy colors to poop, and green is
Green's good.
not a bad one.
It's just you've got a lot of veggies in there.
I mean, nothing's better than a post-popsicle poop, you know?
Yeah.
You get the weird, like, radioactive
The
colors.
sticks
So
in
you
there.
get, like, purple and all kinds of stuff. You're like, whoa!
Ever poop red?
You got to get that checked out, Nick.
Well,
That's beets.
I know. I eat beets. Yeah, I know.
No, for me it was a hemorrhoid.
Yeah.
So, but beets are good too, I guess. So I have a question.
Sure.
Was there some sort of talking to that you gave Greg? Like, how do you teach Greg that what he did, although it felt so good, was not good?
I mean, okay, and I know what we're going to get into today on the podcast. I think what I've always known is that you can't really punish a cat unless it's like catch him in the act. And this was after the fact, so we didn't really talk about it.
Do you feed Greg dinner that night?
Yes, he still got. This was after breakfast. He still got his dinner. I did not give him any treats or samples from what I was making throughout the day. And I cut down on the nighttime greenies that I normally give.
So
him.
you're giving Greg like little tastes of what you're making throughout
Dude,
the day?
You're a
nobody.
sucker,
I
dude.
know.
You're
I
a
know.
sucker.
If
This is
I'm making,
I feel like this segment has turned into This Week in Adam.
Well,
just
this is
a little bit.
It's
You guys
exactly
not-
why we're doing this.
I am curious.
My
okay.
cat eats cat food only, and on very rare occasions, it'll be like if we are doing like a can of salmon or
Yeah.
having salmon, Mary will try to give it to Mochi. Doesn't care.
I feel like my cat he's not a prisoner. I have saved this cat from a life of living in a shelter or on the streets. I'm giving him the best life I can, but he lives indoors all the time. And the greatest joy he gets out of life is when his little food thing goes on. So if I'm making salmon or I'm making some chicken or whatever in the kitchen, and I can give him little tastes here and there.
I
do it
I
for
don't
him.
want to hammer on this too much, but it feels like you're a stand-up comic, and you want this from your audience. You want this cat to give you something.
You're trying to get his approval, is
You're
what
trying
Zach's
to get a
saying.
reaction.
You are needy, thirsty, if you will, for love and affection from
Why
the-
do you
from
guys have
others.
No,
pets?
I think this is totally fine. No, well, to punish them, make sure
Yeah.
they don't eat the greenies.
I
Bronies.
I truly, yes, I want my cat's approval so badly.
Not me. I'm just different. I don't want anybody's approval.
I want everyone in my house's approval. I want your guys' approval. You
No,
guys
I want everybody to like me.
Look, what Adam is admitting right now is that he is not the alpha in his home. You have to be your cat's alpha. You have to make sure he knows who the boss is. I would suggest going home tonight and shitting in his litter box.
he knows I'm the one who gives the treats. I am the one who gives the treats.
But I've also watched that cat paw at his automatic feeder
Dude,
until
I
something
know.
comes out, like it's a video game.
You guys haven't seen that.
He knows the rules, and he knows how to manipulate you too. Clearly,
he literally reaches in there like it's a vending
trying to get a
machine where you
vending
can get
machine snack?
He does
I
it
love
all day.
that.
He every now and again I'll find like on his like kind of like where his armpit would be. I'll be like he's got like raw skin. I'm like, did he cut himself or what is this? I'll find like a little like scab kind of like on his shoulder, and I'll be like, I don't think he fought with Holiday. They're just marks from trying to reach all the way into his
I
feeder.
respect that.
yeah, he knows how the machine works. That's actually perfect for what we're going to talk about this week.
Do you think it's because you gave Greg a fat guy's name?
It's Greg. Yeah, I guess.
Sorry to all my Gregs
Yeah.
out there.
His full name is Fat Greg.
All right, let's move into our. Does anybody else have a something that interesting that happened to them this week?
I
Danny,
mean,
are you
yeah.
going to tell a cute story?
Not really. I will just keep it brief, but
Marv was perfect all week.
Marv is a little perfect boy, but this week we have something going on in our trash area. This the cabinet where the trash and everything is, and there's a creature that's living inside the wall that's trying to get in to where the trash is. There's like a little opening. We put something over it and had to glue it down. Anyway, all week Marv has been kept awake by the scratchings of this creature and is waiting every single night for this thing to get loose so that he can do
It's very
whatever
fun
it is
that
to it.
It is a rat. and you are talking. You like the mystery that this could be anything other than a
It
rat.
could be
I'm
one
not
of like
sure it's a
maybe
rat.
three.
I was
things.
thinking it was a mouse, but is it a rat?
I don't think we have had a rat come up through the toilet, and
Oh,
I feel
that
like
is-
maybe there
Danny,
are rats.
That is foul.
We're cutting them off.
Is that my fault? It's not my fault. They have really good. They can hold their breath for minutes at a time.
Yeah,
rats.
well, it's your specific shit that's attracting the rat.
I guess my gourmet shit, because rats, as we know from Pixar movies, love gourmet things, and my poop is
And
gourmet.
you are a pretty good chef right now. You think this is a Ratatouille looking for?
I mean,
looking for an avatar right now.
It's
Not
a
going to your
rata-
guys' houses.
You got
That's
a
all I know.
ratatouille coming up through your drains.
Oh, we got to move on Ratatouille. You're not gonna get a sound effect for Ratatouille?
Sure. Okay, so let's talk about the mind of a cat. Danny, what did you have in mind when you picked this topic?
It's actually exactly what we were alluding to earlier. Like, honestly, I just want to know what you think your cat understands, how smart it is. Like, what are the things that make you think your cat might be smart? What are the things that make you think your cat might be dumb? I think all of our cats, they do both smart and dumb things. So on the whole, would you say your cat, if it was like 1 to 10, like, 10 is Zuckerberg, 1 is Elon Musk, like, where is your cat on that scale?
Where was Zucker? Where was Musk?
one is smart.
1 is dumb.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah,
But Zach always shows his political true colors on these podcasts.
and those colors are foul.
Is that Zach's son?
I love that.
I
This
just
is turned into a zoo crew, and I love it.
What part of
I love
Zach? Yeah, what part of Zach's son did you step on for
all
that
right,
noise?
I think scale of 1 to 10. I think you phrased it strangely, 10 to 1, and no one really ever does that.
Okay.
1 to 10, Musk, dummy dumb little Musk to smarty smart Zucky Zuck. I think that Moch is a 10. I think she's
Wow.
incredibly intelligent. And I think this ties into a story that Mary shared. She knew we were doing this subject today, and she texted me this last night. And it's basically, it is a study, and we could put it in the show notes. I know people do that.
One day
we
we'll
want to
have
be one
notes.
of those
Yeah.
podcasts.
Sure, be on the lookout for
Yeah,
those.
I love the idea of saying we're going to do it, and we never do it.
The
Check
idea
out the
that
show
somebody
notes.
could figure out how to put a link in a description somewhere
All right.
is like beyond me.
It's just too much.
if you're listening, Google it.
Just Google it. But
Google
basically,
it.
there's a study that it was basically testing cats and dogs to see which one was smarter. And it was like a big, huge study. And basically, they found that cats were capable of doing every single test that they were asked to do as good, if not better, than dogs.
Mhm.
They just rarely wanted to do it. And I just think that's so funny. I think the dogs clearly did it constantly because they want the approval, not unlike Adam.
I'm like a dog who wants my cat's approval.
But I think it's very funny to just know that your cat can pretty much do anything,
Now-
chooses not to.
Why are you saying your cat Mochi is a 10? Now, give us some examples.
I think my prime example is that when I first started dating Mary, I had really bad allergies. Couldn't really pet the cat well. Like I think I had just like a weak immune system. I was weak sauce. Let's be honest. And I did this thing where I just wouldn't pet her. But then every now and then, if she was on the ground by me, I would pet her with my foot. And then
Right.
basically what happened over the course of like a few weeks, I would come and sit in this chair, and Mochi would come and lay down at my feet, and I would just pet her with my feet. Now tell me that's not awesome sauce.
Now, wait a minute.
What do we think about
You're saying because
awesome sauce?
Mochi likes pets, so that means she's a 10 on the scale?
And she likes feet. She's like a little Tarantino
Yeah,
cat.
she's a Tarantino. That's how she's an artist.
Yeah, I think on the scale of 1 to 10, does your cat have a foot fetish? Maybe you
Yeah.
need 10.
And so that would still be, but then the names would be flipped because that would be a Musk.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, what about you, Dan?
I think Marv, I'll you know what? I won't be as effusive about my cat. Everybody seems to think I love my cat too much. Whatever, but I'll give him a 7. I think overall he's a smart cat compared to other cats. He's slightly above average. He's no genius. He can be pretty dumb sometimes. Maybe he's just not trying. Maybe that's what it is. He's not applying himself.
Your cat has street smarts like ours don't have, though. He
That's
survived
true.
out in the streets for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, he made it from Sun Valley to East Hollywood. That's a 20-minute drive.
I couldn't do that without GPS.
He homeward bounded it all the way across the city, and he's got to know what he's doing.
He still drove like Toonses.
He might have. If he could drive, I'd give him an 8.
Have you seen the Instagram videos of these animals taking buses? I think Marv might be smart. I think Marv's pretty smart.
I will say today, my wife was coming home, and sometimes she'll call to ask what the street cleaning situation is, and so she
Still dirty. That'd be a
yeah,
funny
the
thing.
city fucking is a poop-filled cesspool for sure. But that actually, I mean, that deserved a rim shot if you've got one.
I'm so
Apparently not. But so she called me to ask what the street cleaning situation was. I had it on speaker, and then I hung up, and the cat who had been sleeping in the other room the entire time came in waiting for her. She wasn't even close. He couldn't smell her. He just heard her and knew that she was going to be home in a few minutes. I thought that was pretty smart.
Wait, so because your cat heard like a little rumbling and assumed it was Nat, you think
He heard me on the phone talking to her, and I think he picked something
I
up.
want to recalibrate this conversation. So much of this has turned into you guys questioning why we think our cats are smart. And I think we should just be going, yeah, that sounds about right. Who cares? It's
I
not
just
real.
think the idea that you guys think because like your one cat has a foot fetish and the other cat like heard
Our
your
cats
wife come
are
home and then went
No,
to the
she
door.
was not home. That's what I'm saying. She was minutes away, if not maybe a full 10 minutes away,
So
and
he-
the cat knew
he waited
that
by
she
the-
was going to be home soon because I had been talking to her on the phone.
So when you were talking to Natalie on the phone, Marv waited by the door.
he woke up from a dead sleep and came home to greet her because he knew she was imminent.
Was it around the time she normally gets
No,
home? Okay,
Adam,
hey,
no.
I'm just asking a question.
Okay.
That's a point for you and
Very
Marv.
interesting.
That's
she
great.
comes
What a
home at
cat.
all times of day.
What a
so
cat.
she's
It's a good cat.
Yeah,
It's a
he's
good
good
cat.
cat. He's
Nick,
a
why don't you
7.
tell us about your dumb fucking cat?
Yeah,
I'm
it
going to
sounds
say
like
my
yours is dumb.
cat is a 5 or below. I will say that. A 5 because I love her and she's in the room. But what she has in looks, she loses in some wits, in my opinion. There are oftentimes she's asking for food. I open the food up, I put it down, and then she looks at me like, where's the food? And I got to go, it's right here. And then I put her next to the food, and she's like, oh, right, the food. Great. That's what I was looking for. So things of that nature. She's a little slower than your average cat. I slow my movements down when we're kind of playing just so she feels like she can win a little bit. You know, I'm like, I'm using that little bird thing that you're flipping around, and like she's, you know, I don't know, half second off all the time. So then I just kind of like put it on her head and it stays on her head for a second. And then she'll like, I got it. And I go, wow, look at you. You're so fast, you know?
So you basically, just to do what you've been doing, I'm going to flip it on you
Sure.
a little bit. You seem to be upset that you're more excited about the cat toy than Lily is.
Listen, my cat is a wonderful, joyful cat. We have great times together. I just don't think that she could pass any sort of smart cat test. I just don't think so. She's, you know, she can't really escape well. Last episode I told a long, boring story that I even edited down about my cat escaping, and just couldn't even pull that off, really. You know, also is a classic scaredy cat. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen her in the room with roaches, with mice. She's like more freaked out than me and Ashley are. It doesn't have the instincts. So
Well, she was a PetSmart cat, right?
no, she was a cat that was given to pet. Like some
Okay, right.
family was like,
Right.
PetSmart, you take.
Sounds
her.
like she was a pet dumb cat.
Petco.
Petco.
I like it.
Oh.
Petco is short for pet condoms. It's a weird store. Not a lot of people know that.
You know it, and that's strange. Anyway, so I'm gonna go 5, maybe 4.5, 5.
4.5.
All right,
That's
Newman.
the lowest score
All
so
right,
far.
Greg, compared to other cats, I'm giving him a 9. Just because I'm not putting him as the smartest in the world, not genius level. And to go off some of the stuff you were just talking about, and also we were talking about with him reaching up into his cat thing. He very quickly figured out that's where the food goes, and if I stick my hand up there and reach around, a couple pieces will pop out. That was very smart. There's other things like the cat, we put the gate up so they won't fight at night. Greg has found out how to jump over it or squeeze through it, and then we have modified it many ways, and he'll still find ways to get around it. Other things like
he knows how to code.
yeah, he knows how to code. He did. He's perfect score on the CATs. But he catches on to routines and patterns really fast. I started putting like a couple like greenies or something in my pocket. Like I was telling you about this before. I was like, one of my favorite things is to put like a couple cat treats in my pocket. So later, if the cat's just laying around on the couch next to me, I can surprise him with a treat. Right? I love doing that. That's why I give him chicken and stuff. Like there's no greater joy.
I get it.
Than giving your animal a treat.
Now,
But-
if you fall asleep on the couch, does he like lick your crotch a little bit because he knows it's in there?
all right. I don't know how many pants you have with pockets on the crotch, but
Are
all
we
of
not
mine.
all playing pocket pool still, like 8th graders?
But no, he'll jump on the couch and immediately just go to like where my pockets are and start sniffing around and stuff. So he's very he figures stuff out really fast. He knows he'll sit like he'll know where my car is parked, so he'll go to that window and look for me when I'm leaving and stuff like that. He just catches on to things really fast. So I think he's a really smart cat. We've also taught him how to sit. Like he knows a couple. He knows a couple
he knows
tricks.
tricks.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
he can do a couple tricks.
Do any of the cats around here know any tricks or have been trained to do anything?
Yeah, Adam's cat. He just said it.
I again was hoping the context.
Why
would
are
make
you
sense.
are you saying that Marv? No, let me
He
just.
doesn't, which is that I was impressed by that.
So
He'll sit if I have a treat. If I don't have a treat, he won't do
Your
it.
cat is just completely motivated and his life is dominated by the pursuit of food. He's a genius, but only for food. He's like a George R.R. Martin kind
He's
of like
super
a fat,
food motivated. On the other end, and we can get into him more if you want, but Holiday is like a 3. She is the complete opposite. I can put like Greg, as soon as I can be in the other room and I can put 2 treats in his dish and the little noise, he'll bolt out, go right up to the thing. Right in front of Holiday, I can put a handful of food in the dish and she'll just stare at it and she won't catch on
And
that
she's
she needs to jump up
beautiful,
there.
Like she's a classic babe.
She's
like,
all
got nothing
looks,
going on. All
no
looks.
brains.
No brains.
Yeah.
Now
I want to adjust.
Oh, go
because I
ahead.
went first, and I feel like I didn't really understand the bar
Oh,
that everyone was.
do you
gonna
think
set.
a 10 might be a little high
No, I
on a
think
scale
I
from
think
1 to
Mochi's at
10?
an 11. Now that I've heard everything, Mochi, your cats are stupid. They're weird. I do think Mochi's still a 10. I feel great about it. And my big thing is that I believe she knows what she's doing. She's got this thing about self-preservation. And now that she's an older cat, I just feel like she just doesn't play. It's not because she doesn't want to play. She's just like, yeah, I'll break something. I don't want to do that. I want to be around for a bit. I want to see your son grow up.
Yeah. She's smart enough to know if she just stays put on the couch most of the day.
She's gonna get a couple extra
Yeah.
years.
If you see her, if like with Adam's cat and his greenies, if you see Mochi like rooting around in your bottle of arthritis pills, then you'll know that she's a smart cat who can preserve herself. It does seem like animals, for the most part, are good at self-preservation. Is there like a trick that that's what I was trying to get at? Like a trick seems like that's the next level. That's where you get to a 10.
Now,
If
I
your
do
cat
think-
can do a backflip,
Teaching your cat
You got
to
a smart
sit
cat.
school. Moch used to do a thing where I would rub the ground, and she would basically do the exact same thing. She'd come and walk in front of me, and she'd flop. We called it the flop.
Yeah.
I just literally rub the ground, and she'd come and she would just flop her butt down for butt scratches, and it was the same thing.
That's
And
her.
at some point, though, what I think I'm impressed by, at some point she stopped doing it when she got old because I think it would hurt her.
Yeah.
Now, my cat, we trained our cat to come to a whistle. Anybody else?
yeah, I think
Like-
taps and whistles are pretty standard.
Like we have a
cat stuff.
specific sort of whistle. I don't want to do it now because she will come over here and expect a treat. But we gave her treats, and so anytime she's hiding somewhere, if we hit that little whistle, she comes out and she'll look for a treat.
You know, cats can understand like 4 or 5 human words. They can keep that
Shit,
in there.
piss, cocksucker, green.
Yeah, it's the 7. It's all
The 5
7
words you can say
yeah.
to your cat.
Now, Danny, not to start any trouble here, but do you agree that Greg is 2 points higher than Marv?
I think Adam is just 2 points dumber than me.
Oh,
is
see, I
is
knew
what's
it.
really going on.
I knew it.
No, I mean, sure. Greg
did
is a
not
great
like that.
cat.
I actually brought my SATs with me, and I'll show because
backing up his stuff.
that's how you
He's
determine
upset.
how smart you are by your SATs from 25 years
I
ago.
brought mine as well. Actually, both of them with the combined score because of the math being really low on the first one. And
Oh,
yeah,
yeah?
950.
Really? That's surprisingly low.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. But the next year
You
they
can edit
changed
that
it.
out. Oh, do the sound effect for that. Do the wah wah.
You should give yourself a stinker.
That's
Sorry,
a
Dad.
delayed
I will
response for
say-
your SAT scores.
It does help that I took ACTs because I went to a weird southern state.
We had to take those too. Yeah.
I took them both. Yeah.
got 27. There was it was a score like that, right?
That's a
Yeah.
shame. I
It
got a
was like-
31.
You got a 31?
I got a 1450 on the SAT.
Oh my
Oh.
Oh my
Danny,
God!
so-
And
Very
what
good.
happened?
Danny, you might be the smartest cat here.
Yeah.
Now, we have some other subtopics that we want to talk about a little bit. And I think one of the big ones is what commands, and we almost rolled right into it, but what commands do your cats know? As I just shared, I can do a little whistle, and my little fatty catty will run up here and look for a treat. But does any of your guys' cats come to their name?
Yeah. If I say "come, Greg," he will jizz all over the floor.
Excuse me. Very nice.
was
That
waiting.
was a joke, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
He's neutered. I don't think he can make come anymore.
Oh,
Is that how that works?
He can
I
dream.
think.
Actually,
Yeah.
cats can dream. I read that the cats have the ability to have full dreams.
But they can't cream and dream.
They can't have wet dreams.
Yes, that's what I meant by that.
But they can have wet food.
yeah.
I found out that cum is different than sperm.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
I found that out this week.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
No,
Mr. 950 over
are
here.
you whatting that he just learned that, or are you all just blown away?
Wait,
that you
actually,
just,
hold on.
This,
I got a 1050.
sperm
Oh.
I said
Sperm
not
is in-
is
That's
in
different.
cum.
Okay.
That is
Then
honestly,
I get it.
honestly, legitimately different.
It is. I did, but it was a combined score. All right. I
That
it
is
was a
the
1050.
Yeah, of course.
Combined
That's
score.
the combined score.
Did pretty much got a 0 on my math the first time around.
That cum question wasn't on the SATs, though, was it?
It is now. I'm a teacher, and I'm slowly implementing.
Let me correct. I was a teacher.
You weren't tutoring kids. All right.
Let's talk about cats.
My
All right.
cat. I know cats dream because my cats will be sleeping, and you get all the little paw shakes
Yes,
and the whisker
it's
things. It's very
incredible.
cute when you see a cat dreaming.
And
But
they're
you
what
need-
do you think
they're
they're?
chasing mice? They're
That's-
just always chasing mice in a field.
Anybody
That's what I
though
think.
think at first oh, my cat's having a fucking seizure. It does kind of creep me out a
there's
little bit.
The little fidget.
Yes, the fidgeting. Right.
It worried me until I saw my wife having a very similar seizure while asleep.
Also dreaming about chasing a mouse
Yeah,
in a
she's-
field.
She likes to chase spiders around the kitchen floor. I mean, the things that my cat understands, obviously, the word treats, I think he
yeah.
does fully understand. He now understands the word outside. We've talked about how he likes to go outside, so that's a big one. And yeah, I think he does know his name, but he has 100 names. It's not just Marv around the house. Sometimes it's like Bubba or baby or kitty or asshole or whatever the thing.
My
that you call
real
your cat.
wife.
Yeah.
A lot of little nicknames. There's a Mochi knows her name, but and other than we used to do the rubbing and she would flop in front of me and get little pets. If I just do a little scratch on the couch, she hears it from a mile away and knows to jump on the couch and get on my lap. I think that's pretty cool.
That's good. If I lay on my back and kind of tap my chest, Greg knows to
yeah,
jump
it's a
up
lot
on
of
my
vibrations
chest.
and little pats.
Does your cat understand though? Because something that I don't even remember where I read, so I can't even say this is a scientifically proven thing. But from what I gleaned, I guess cats understand that you're talking to them when you use the baby voice, when you use a different voice from when you're talking to your wife. Your wife, that might be more of a yelling, like a screaming in her face kind of sound. He knows that's when I'm talking
Guys,
to.
Putting that in there just to let everybody know Danny doesn't scream at his wife.
Right.
Like that.
That's why the rim shot was there. It was for joke purposes only.
Right. We don't need that.
I
Not
also
on Pussy
and this
Boys.
ties in because what I've read is that basically cats' intelligence level is at a 2-year-old's.
2-year-old, yeah.
And I think that kind of checks out. That's toddler level,
Mm-hmm.
where they know kind of when they're being talked to, when someone's mad or not mad or
Yeah.
happy.
Do
They get tone. They get tone.
Do you though? Because sometimes I'll play with that a little bit. I will curse at my cat or call him an idiot,
but in a sweet voice.
but in a nice voice. Do you think that your cat could understand the
I
difference?
don't think so.
I do. I think they do understand tone a little bit, and I also, this is hilarious. I think all of us are going to keep saying I read or I saw a video or whatever, and none of us are going to be able to pull the actual.
It'll be in the show
but, like,
notes.
Show notes.
Adam.
But I have also read or heard or saw a YouTube video or something that, like, because this is a thing that I have a problem with at home a lot. I got sharp flying elbows. I'm very bad with my extremities, and I think I've like, if I like kind of hit Greg with like just like by mistake, like I'm shifting and like an elbow hits him, and you look over and he's got his ears back, and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry, buddy. I think they immediately, I've read that they do get that tone that you didn't mean to do it, and I've had that experience with Greg a bunch of times where it's like, I'm so sorry, buddy. And I'm scratching him and I'm talking to him like that, and he just is fine. He curls back up on you. He doesn't run away.
And
like,
just
all
to
this
make you
person's
feel
in danger.
bad, I read a thing that says he does not get it.
He's scarred for life. Yeah.
Lily definitely understands tone. If I come in and I do, hey Lily, how are you? She very much likes it. Now she does, as we've talked about
the
before.
voice again.
Oh Lily. So when I do something like that,
Ashley
she knows,
barfs immediately.
Ashley's
You're
loves
doing
it.
bits with this cat.
I mean, I have a lot of bits with them. Everybody's. Well, that'll be a whole episode.
That's
bits
Yeah,
with the
that's
cat.
Does your cat like
Save that.
impressions?
Nobody
excuse me,
does.
Do you
No
guys
one.
like cat impressions? Here we go. So she, as we've talked about in previous episodes, I may have a bad kitty sometimes who wants to be bad, and so I do take the opposite tone with her. And she never does anything. The worst thing she does is she pees in the bathtub. We don't want her to think that's cool. So we'll clap and we'll go, no, 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 no. But like, she'll jump up when she turns into what we call night cat. About 10:30, she's like, hey, I'm up. And this is my real personality.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll like start roaming around and
She's
hunting
rapping.
shit. Yeah. So she will like sometimes jump up on the countertop and start looking for like some sort of food.
We love the freak that comes in.
And so we don't want her on the countertop because we want to be able to like leave stuff up there that she can't eat.
You eat off of the countertop.
Yeah, of course. I actually do. And so I will just take like a performative deep voice where I'm like, Lily, you do not do that. Don't do that. And as soon as she hears like deep voice guy, she jumps off and instead of being like upset, she comes up and immediately makes amends, which I really think is cute.
This is a 2-year-old. This
Yeah.
feels very
She
much
comes
like a
up and she goes
toddler.
right up to me and then she gives me like a cat hug and she's like, we're cool, right? And I'm like, yeah, of course we're cool. Here, yeah, just don't go up
And then
there
she
anymore.
whispers, I'm going to go right back when you go to sleep.
She
Guess
yes.
where I go when you boys go to sleep?
As soon as I know, it's so stupid because as soon as we go to sleep, she's everywhere.
She does
You don't
whatever
want her
she
to-
wants.
Of course, she can't wait. It's like honestly, when you're like parents would go to bed and it's like a Saturday and you're like, yeah, I'll probably be up for a little longer.
Greg knows. Greg knows what the water gun is. I keep a little water gun by me on my desk because during the day, every now and again, Greg will just kind of wander over to where Holiday's sleeping, and you'll just hear the hissing and stuff. And sometimes he'll tackle her, but if he sees me pick up the water gun, he immediately just turns around and goes the other direction. He knows exactly what it is and what it does. And
it's a great
he's
little
testing
tool.
me. Yeah.
It's a great tool. Now, a couple of things have happened with it. We have a spritzer around here. The main thing is anytime Lily's doing something bad, the spritzer is not near us. And by the time we get up, she's done doing it.
That's
And
why
so
we've
spraying
gotten-
a cat in the face with the spritzer like 18 seconds after they do a thing does not work. The other time was, and this happened to me, this is back in my pot smoking days in Brooklyn, but I would...
Mix off the sauce.
Speaking of rap,
Ashley would...
this is a rap song about shooting your cat with a water gun, smoking weed in Brooklyn.
She gave me Ashley gave me the water gun. She was like, you have to spray this cat, okay? Like when she's doing bad stuff. That's how they learn. And I was like, this feels weird. And then finally she was doing something crazy and like knocked something over or whatever. And I went, and this happened 3 times in a row. I sprayed it and it was on mist. Like I sprayed it, it was on mist. She stopped doing it. I put it down. It happened 3 times before. That mister never made it out of Brooklyn, never got. So she doesn't really understand what the wetness does to her. I think I've gotten her once where I was like, yeah. And then once you're trigger happy, you're like, come here. You're trying to
we're
like,
talking about just sort of like, I am impressed that Mochi's, I won't talk about my son ever again on this podcast. But when the baby was coming, baby's born, there's like a little bit. You're a little bit nervous about a cat, even though Moch has been very chill. For the first year, they truly didn't even look at each other. It's like they did not exist, and it's like except when the baby was like crying really loudly. Every now and then, Moch would look at us like why did you need this?
You gonna do something?
She would give us a look like, I don't do this bullshit. And I think that's so impressive to just be like, you could have just had a quiet little kitty, but you had to fuck around and you found out.
She's like, control your child.
And lately, because Pep is insane and he's running around and he likes the cat, she's like trying to pet the cat and he doesn't have motor skills. He's not soft. And Moch will just kind of take it. And she will kind of look at us and she's just sort of like, okay. And I find that just impressive. Like there's a little bit of processing because like Moch will see like a squirrel outside and just like the back will arch and like there's like she'll kind of get into her fighting stance and to like know that we care about this other thing. There's something.
Yeah,
That's a
no,
10.
it's sweet.
That's a 10.
It's very
Looking
sweet.
at you is checking in with you to be
Yeah.
like, you see what's happening over here, or like is expecting you to do something about it. Is to me a sign of the cat understanding something.
You can see, like, I can see the same thing, like the soul in Marv's eyes when he's trying to, like,
I don't really like the way you
communicate.
compare Marv to Mochi. I find that a little cheap.
I mean, I think we'll just post photos of each of our cats and let the public
It's not
decide.
a beauty contest.
Well, you
Well,
can
it
tell
could
in
be.
the eyes. In
First
the eyes,
episode,
you
it
can
really
see.
was a beauty
It
contest.
was, yeah. And a softness contest.
I
really.
think that's maybe why I'm going with a 10. I feel like I have to overcompensate the fact that I was like, yeah, Mochi's kind of gross.
Listen, you cooked us up some wings last weekend, and we spent a little time talking around Moch as she chilled on the couch. And I said goodbye to Mochi, and I got to look at that face. Moch is still cute as hell. That face
Yeah.
is cute as hell. Has like a little lion's face, or like almost like a lion in like a puppet show,
It's
or
like a little
something.
wizard.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it.
Still soft too. I hope we all age so gracefully.
Yeah.
Just covered in hair.
Yeah.
Big fed wet tuna.
That's
Sounds nice.
pretty much today for me, but I'm covered in hair. I ate tuna, and it was wet. So.
Oh my! We do have to talk about that at some point. Wearing dark clothes has been a problem.
Oh, well,
I'm covered in cat hair all the time.
Yeah, the scourge of cat fur will definitely be discussed. Just one more other thing. Do you think your cat can tell time? I feel like Marv can. Marv has been eerily, because in trying to discipline my cat and keep him on a schedule, I feed him at 5 o'clock, and I try not to give him food before that because otherwise he'll just meow for 2 hours whenever he starts
It's
feeling
hard to
hungry.
tell because we were talking about intermittent fasting before this pod.
Mm.
You can know when you're hungry. I think there's like an inherent timer of just like, oh, I'm hungry as hell.
But I've seen him, and this is 90% of the time, the clock will strike 5 o'clock and he will come over. He will know. He knows. He feels, or he understands. Maybe it's the position of the sun. Maybe it's something I'm doing. I don't know. But there is
The
an
moon.
exactitude to his ability to know what time dinner is.
That's smarter than Greg, because Greg, who has been on a timer since I've had him for 5 years, and Holiday, who's been on a timer since I've been there for like 3 years, it goes off at 5 in the morning and 6 at night every single time. And I'm not around for the 5 in the morning one, but I imagine he does this then too. But if it goes off at 6 at night, 4 o'clock, 4:30, he's sitting there waiting for it every single time. And you can't, if I like picked him up or brought him somewhere else or showed him something, he's not interested. He's 2 hours ahead of time. He's just like, it's coming soon, and I have to be here for
Yeah,
it.
that's a 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's
This
dumb.
cat's
I mean,
a
that's
4 or
dumb.
5.
I think we
It's
can
a
just say,
dumb
like,
thing.
it's dumb. It's obviously stupid. But I also think he might be getting tricked by the amount of foods you're giving him.
I think
in
he's
between.
addicted to the treats, and
Yeah.
I think that maybe it's not unlike someone who's like can't quit vaping or something. I feel like Greg's hooked on the sauce.
You can't compare vaping to eating.
I think I just did.
Eating
yeah, I can
is
do
a-
whatever I want.
In his head, this
And
eating is survival.
My credentials will be in the show notes. You can see why.
These are gonna be the biggest show notes any of you have ever seen.
Now, do you think Greg has it in his mind that I need to be here in order for that food to drop?
Oh, that's
I'm causing
interesting.
it to drop.
That's and I as a kid who was raised very like devoutly Catholic. that is sort of the mindset I had. That it was like, if I don't do these things, then the whole universe will be
maybe
run amok.
The feeder is kind of his higher power, and he doesn't want to be punished by not. I
have to pray to the God at 4:30 every day.
Because I feel like Lily thinks that if she doesn't bug me in the morning for food,
you won't know.
Then because every time she does it, she eventually gets fed breakfast. It's like if I miss a day, then I'm not gonna. I think maybe once. I can't really remember pre here, but maybe once since moving here about 2 years ago. I woke up early enough and she was like sleeping on the couch and I popped open a can and she was like, whoa, oh shit, look at this. Every other time, that motherfucker is on my bed and gives me, and it's like a 5 of annoying. But there are times where it's like a 1 but it's always on the scale. It's always like, hey, I'm here. I'm going to sleep right next to you for a little bit. And this one's going to be kind of sweet. She's now back in the mode of like, I'm coming up to you at 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm going to walk over your chest. Then I'm going to lay next to you for a little bit and I'm going to pretend like it's sweet. But when you look at me and act as if I'm cuddling, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go onto the table and I'm going to knock a thing off. And then if all else fails, this motherfucker walks across our heads.
I want to talk about, from a smartness level, what's up with them knocking things off?
No idea. I thought our cat didn't do it. I was like, oh, our cat just doesn't do shit like that. As soon as she got to be like 3 or 4, all of a sudden I think it's I'm bored and I know this will get a rise out of somebody.
Yeah, I think to me that's more of a sign of intelligence because they know there's like some causality or there's like they know that something will happen. Because they're kind of looking at you when they do it. It's never really like them playing with the thing.
She's never knocked anything over like while we're gone.
That's why I find the begging for food, that's the only thing that happens to them in a day. So they're going to be excited about it. You can't really base intelligence off of that. But knocking things over or like little ways you like perform around it, I find interesting.
I think your cat wants to show you something, wants to punish you or wants to push you into some kind of action or just wants to
what
be
if
a
your
brat.
Cat knows about something, sort of like a premonition?
Like
and
these
you just
items,
keep feeding it.
Yeah.
These
but
items
it's just sort
are
of like
cursed.
they're gonna kidnap her.
And then she eats and she's satiated and then just goes to sleep for a little
Yeah,
bit.
you
Why
get
am I
tired.
so tired.
Yeah.
What was that?
I'm looking at Danny's list here. This is a very good one. Do your cats know when you're going to leave? And I'll start. Lily fucking totally can tell when we are going away on a trip.
Oh yeah.
Like it must be packing there, or maybe we're around, like the lights are on and it's like 11 p.m. the night before, and we're
There's
like
an
doing
energy
last-minute
before a
packing.
trip, which I think is very fun.
And she gets very uncomfortable, and she'll like start hiding under furniture and stuff like that, and she doesn't have her normal routine going on. Is other
Absolutely. So Marv, when we bring the suitcase down from the upper part of the closet, he immediately starts doing that. He freaks out. He'll like find a place to hide for a while. Then after the suitcase has been packed and it's just sitting there kind of open, in case you need to throw something else in there or whatever, he goes and he sits inside it. He sits on top of the stuff so we can't close it because he knows that we're going to once that thing gets zipped up, eventually we're going to the airport.
Marv's
And
an 8.
I think he's at least smarter than Greg.
Greg gets in the
maybe not
suitcase.
Mochi.
Greg gets in the suitcase way earlier than you, your cat. As soon as it gets in there, and I think he loves his. We've talked on the podcast how he loves his carrier, and my cat loves traveling. I think he's like, I'm getting in, close me up, I'm going with you, and I can't do it. But yeah, they Holiday again though. Other room couldn't give less of a shit. I don't think.
Well,
Holiday
she
knows
wants
anything.
you to leave. I think she knows and she's glad.
I think she likes being home and quiet and sleeping all day. So whatever. But Greg, the animals 100%.
Does Mochi move at all when you're gonna leave?
Has Mochi moved recently?
Mochi hasn't moved in 3 years. No, but Mochi does. I feel like pre-trip, Mochi will just sort of. There's like a grumble.
Yeah.
And post-trip, there'll be a yell. I get one solid yell, and then she comes and hangs out.
Yeah, we get yelled at when we come back as well. There's very much a catty cat noise being made and like aggressive hugging. Like I love this, but I'm just letting you know for the next 18 seconds I'm going to be upset.
I really like this question that Danny asked. Does your cat understand what some appliances do?
Yeah.
That's
an
a
interesting
very
question.
interesting one.
I
Danny,
was-
I'm going to say, when you make these rundowns, you don't have to fill them out as deep as you do. I'm just saying.
love it.
These are great.
I want us to have all kinds of options. I was inspired by the fact that Marv knows when we start putting our vacuum together.
Oh.
When we start putting our Dirt Devil together, put the attachment on, he runs underneath the couch because he knows exactly what that is.
Moch knows that there's a loud noise and will kind of hide.
Yeah.
If my cat sees a can opener coming out, he's like, I know exactly what this is because, we the only cans, we don't feed him canned food. But if anyone's making tuna or something, or we're using tuna for anything, always he comes out because they can smell that immediately.
Yeah, see, I feel like some of these things you could say like, well, the smells are involved. Like even with the luggage, you can say, well, it smells like the airport, or it smells like 1,000 people.
It smells
or something.
like Paris,
Yeah,
France.
he knows something Italian is going on, and he's just like unnerved by that. But the appliance, there's no smell involved.
Yeah.
It's just a sound or like something he doesn't like, and he knows when we're putting, even just when I go to reach where it's at in its area, he knows what that is. And he does not like it.
Are you giving Greg tuna fish every time you have some tuna fish?
Stop feeding this
yeah,
cat.
I am. And I will also tell you, every year on Greg's birthday, which is April 12th,
That's my son's birthday.
Really? Well, you can come over.
Joint birthday
get a little
party
tuna
would be
fish.
very funny.
Every year, and I make a little Instagram reel for it too. I make a little video. But Greg and Holiday split a can of tuna, and I put a birthday candle in it.
Oh,
That's beautiful.
Greg doesn't
you're
like
a great
the
cat dad. I want to say you're a really good cat dad.
Thanks. I truly love my cat, and I try to take really good care of him.
You strike me as a guy that had no family growing up, and so you are putting it all into this cat.
I think we're all putting all our pent
I
up
actually
emotions.
I feel
You
bad.
had a very nice
I
family.
had a pretty good family, a pretty good childhood. I was treated pretty well.
La-di-da.
We had cats. We also. Oh,
Now,
I
can I
gotta
just
this.
say that it's very funny to think that there are like real human orphans out there
Yeah.
that need a home,
Yeah.
and you are just putting so much energy into Greg.
And should I say that I hope those orphans get homes?
I hope they get it.
I hope
they get
every
it.
human orphan gets a home. I'm
Yeah.
going to say that right now.
I
And
hope
when
so.
they
Can we do
do,
a
you
set-
can get another cat.
And then I hope they get a cat that brings them joy too. I gotta tell you, the way I treat my cat is my mom loves cats also, but my dad was always the one growing up that got up early to take care of my cat Pudge. And if you saw the spread that Pudge had, it's hilarious. Like my dad loved that cat so much, and the cat would. My dad's like a wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and work out guy. So the cat would wake up with him, follow him into the kitchen. My dad in the morning would give him his wet food, and then also his like bowl of dry food that would just always be there. Plus like 3 or 4 smaller bowls of like new things like my dad was letting him try or see if he liked
Wait,
him and stuff like that. And like he just
Before
had-
you guys-
shakes.
Before you guys got Pudge, his name was Skinny Pete, right? I mean, it sounds like you guys fattened this boy
I also
up.
think that you just are following in your dad's footsteps.
I
think that's
too
really
much
cool.
giving.
I actually catch myself even just like the way I'll I don't know, to make a noise, to a kissy noise to call him over, or like stick my little finger in my cat's face to have him like
Face.
smell
I
He
it
thought
or
you
said
were
whatever.
gonna
face.
say
He
butt.
said face,
Not gonna
guys.
say
Face.
butt.
Face.
No, my dad
Face.
would like eat ice cream on the couch and then put his finger in the ice cream and put it in front of the cat's
He
face.
said
and he'd
ice
lick it up
cream.
like that.
Face.
He said ice cream. Finger in the ice cream.
Finger in the ice cream.
All right. I just want to bring this up because I just, in my extensive running down of today's episode, I did come up with a few just factoids about the female feline brain. That's my other podcast with Ben Shapiro.
A Freudian slut.
The feline brain. Here's just some factoids we can just kind of discuss. We can talk about it. A cat's brain is...
Wow, we're doing characters.
I was just doing a little bit of Linda Goodman. A cat's brain is about the size of your pinky finger. Guys, it's 5 centimeters.
Is it like long and thin like that?
It actually might
has a
be. I
nail.
forgot to look at the GIF. I
gotta trim my
5
cat's
centimeters.
brain.
Yeah.
My
Just
catacles.
think about it like that, I guess. Just look at your pinky, think that's a pretty fucking dumb size, and that's what your cat's got going on. Also, it weighs 0.06 pounds, which is about half a plum. the human brain is 3 pounds. So
Now, this is interesting. And just if their brain is this small and it weighs 0.06. 0.06 or 0.6?
0.06.
That's really... Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
Tiny
I thought it
brain.
was 0.6.
No, you seen their little tiny skulls?
Notice that I didn't share my ACT score at all. But I'm sort of showing it.
We should do a full accounting of our test scores sometime before this pod
Now,
ends.
brain size, does that have anything to do with
I don't know.
Yes.
smarts?
It does. You gotta. There's, more connections, more brain mass. You got more wrinkles. All that stuff matters.
I just love the way Nick said it because we know his SAT score now. And he's like, now brain size. Does that have anything to do with think good stuff?
I literally almost said motion in the ocean. So, I mean...
It's not about how big it is. It's how you use it. And I use it to tell you guys that a cat has a long-term memory of about 10 years.
Wow.
So your cat, a 10-year-old cat such as Marv, can remember stuff that happened around the time of his birth.
Not a single cat on Earth right now remembers 9/11.
Unfortunately, that's true.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I don't think any of them are alive, right?
There might be the
Yeah,
world's
24
oldest
year
cat
old
right
cat.
now could be in its 20s.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. There's a
Yeah.
cat born that was in 9/11.
That makes me feel good.
I don't know if it was in
I mean,
9/11.
Actually, they said after 9/11, like the amount of cats that were being born was crazy because just cats were like, I don't know how long we're gonna live.
Yeah,
we
it
just
was-
gotta start
yeah.
It was a
fucking.
surge.
YOLO.
Yeah. If you don't have 20 a litter of 20 kittens, the terrorists win.
Also, I should say, Zach, I mean, pot to kettle, Pep doesn't know anything about 9/11 either, and I find that a little
And when he-
disheartening.
Oh
When are
no,
you
he
gonna tell
knows. We watch a lot of videos. Mostly
you
loose
put 'em
change.
Literally gonna say loose change.
Yeah.
The only thing I know about 9/11 is loose change. What
Cats
else you got?
cats have a better short-term memory than dogs. Since we're going cat to dog,
I actually
know
talked
that.
to my cat in the loose change narrator voice. Did you know that also it was a torpedo that hit the... Okay, sorry.
I didn't see Loose
We're doing
Change.
characters.
Is Loose Change a 9/11 documentary?
It's like a-
it was
it's a
like
conspiracy.
a viral conspiracy video.
And the narrator was maybe 14 years old. Like, it was the most whiny, weaselly little
it was
boy
Vivek
voice.
Ramaswamy.
Definitely. Danny, no one's gonna know that name when this episode comes out.
We don't know. He could be the president by this
I mean,
time.
we are recording this in 2002, but I mean, we'll probably only get it out a few years later.
People have
Okay.
already forgotten about 9/11.
You got more cat brain facts?
Just one more. Cats are physically capable of getting brain freeze.
Oh, interesting. I think I've seen that like in a weird like cat licks ice cream
That's
like
where
video where
there's
they-
full compilations
Right.
of this.
I don't like watching that. It makes me feel
Feels a
bad
little
for the
mean.
cat.
I honestly, and this loosely ties into the mind of the cat. What do you think's happening in the videos where a cat sees a cucumber?
Snake.
I've read, yeah.
But like, why does a cat know what a snake is?
So my cat, in order to bump him back up on the smart scale again, we've tried it with my cat, and he does not care. He's not interested. Like, I'll put it behind him when he's not paying
maybe
attention.
it is outdoor, like cats that had this like outdoor experience. Maybe there's something different.
Have you done it to Marv?
Marv is terrified of snake-like objects for sure. Yeah, he is.
I bet he is.
I
Yeah,
just
wait
know
a minute.
Specifically,
someone.
snake-like objects about the
Very
size of a
small
pinky
snakes, yeah.
finger.
Hey,
Worms.
Marv.
He's afraid of worms.
On your path from your old home, did you ever see one of these? Oh, sorry, I couldn't remember. Where is he from? Sun Valley?
Sun Valley.
Sun Valley.
Yeah. Is that the sound of a dick? What are we talking about?
That was the sound of you fucking your cat.
Oh,
I
okay,
think.
got it.
I
got
think it
Yes.
might have been.
No, it was his previous owner. I'm sure who did that.
Oh, come on, that is foul.
You're foul.
Oh.
You know what my cat does that's really smart? I just
The
thought
button
of
broke.
I just thought of a smart thing my cat does. So we have a lot of like cat toys that's basically a stick with like, you know, a string and a feather and a bell on the end of it or something like that. He's very quick to realize it's coming from the stick. And
That's
he loses
impressive.
interest in
Yeah.
the thing and he goes right for the stick. I
Oh,
like that.
interesting.
That's
yeah.
what I basically. So we would do with Mochi because Mochi's a 10. We would do the laser pointer.
Yeah.
And at some point, I noticed she was like, "Okay, it's coming from the laser pointer in the hand," and then she was like, "Oh, that gets made in a factory." And then so Mochi was going down to the factory and she was
Yeah.
chatting those guys
Yeah.
up. She was
Well-
like, "We got to cut this out."
She did used to get the Netflix DVDs of How It's Made.
Yes.
That's how old Mochi is.
Just her rubbing her paws together like, yes.
Any more brain facts?
Those are all of them.
Well, you know, guys, I was actually thinking this when you brought this up as a topic that we could talk about. I was like, how do I get into the mind of my cat? And I started thinking about Lily and just like, what does she think about all day? And I realized like she's just sitting around, you know, kind of like Greg, just thinking about food. And I was like, boy, it would be really great to be a cat. Like if we could switch bodies, you know? And so I was like, I got to think on this a little bit. And I did a little journaling. Okay, I was doing some journaling. It was very therapeutic, I'll say. And it just made me want to take a walk. I walked all the way to the Americana, and I actually went into the Barnes & Noble there, and I perused through some of the magazines. Sometimes I go into the cooking section, the cookbooks. I don't even cook. I was looking at some of the cookbooks, and it just made me feel like I had to write a song about it. So I wrote a song about what it would be like if I was a cat. Can I play it for you guys right now?
Please, yes.
Okay.
Hey, if I was a cat, I'd sleep in a couch. If I was a cat, I'd eat all day.
Yeah.
If I was a cat, I'd lick my nuts. I'd lick my mother fucking nuts. If I was a stupid fucking cat, I would eat my own fucking ass. If I was a fucking cat, fuck you, bitch. Hey, if I ate a cat, and I was a cat, ain't no crime in that.
Not at all.
I'm just eating cat.
No prison time.
If I was a cat, I'd eat your fucking face when you died. If I was a cat, I'd kill a guy.
Bang, bang.
If I was a cat, I'd kill my dad.
Wait.
Ain't going to jail? Fuck you. If I was a cat, I'd piss on you. If I was a cat, I'd piss on me. If I was a cat, I'd drink some piss.
Here you go. Drink that shit. I'm a sweet boy, a little fucking cat. Sue me. You can't fucking sue me. I'm a motherfucking cat, bitch. I'm a sweet kitty. Come and get me, pigs. Oink, oink, pigs.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. So, I don't know. Thank you for letting me express myself on this podcast.
That was
Thanks.
wonderful.
Not a lot different from what I had imagined you're into just as a man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty much the same shit, but I could say it and
And you could reach your ass.
yeah, I could never. I've been trying to take vertebrae out of my back for years so I can eat my own ass, but they say that could lead to some sort of a fatal event.
Most mind-blowing part of that song is you have stopped smoking weed.
Yeah, that was a weedless adventure.
That's
like
incredible.
when I'm playing around in
Shows
Logic
that you
at
don't
night.
eat it. Shows that you don't eat it. You had a blast.
I will say this: one take, all riffed. How's that?
I think
That is pretty impressive.
There's a little editing, obviously, and I did some.
Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
You went to
some
the studio. You
extra
went to a
vocal-
studio.
It felt like one take.
Paid
for sure. I trust that.
$4,000
Yeah.
for studio time.
Listen, we're gonna move on to our game segment, right?
Yeah.
Zach, you have a great game that you want to tee up for us right now.
So this is actually, it's not so much a game as it is an experience.
Oh.
Is that okay? Do you mind if I do an
please.
experience?
I'll experience
Absolutely.
anything with you guys.
Essentially, because of the subject matter, the mind of a cat, I fell into researching a little something called cat psychics. Are you guys familiar with pet
Of course,
psychics?
Yeah.
I've heard of pet psychics. Yes.
Essentially, they mostly go by interspecies communicators. I came across this story. This is very recently. This is from a few weeks ago. In Bolivia, the state airline enlisted a psychic to find a missing cat, which I just thought was really interesting.
Yeah,
The
it's
cat-
amazing.
Now, the psychic did not find the cat.
That's sad.
And that makes me laugh a lot.
Yeah.
That is sad.
Because, it's a lot of people think that it's a quack science. I personally don't. So I started just researching is this, because like this guy is clearly not accredited, right? This guy couldn't find the cat, doesn't know what he's doing. I did a little research, and you can get accreditation. Like you can get certified as a pet psychic. And this is from healingreiki.com. This man, Steve Murray.
Meow.
Basically, also his website is It's VegasVisualist.com. I think. But for $70, you can become a pet psychic, and I did it.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
You're certified.
Very few courses. Didn't really have to do much. You basically just pay the fee, and you just kind of click.
You
and
did this
basically
in the
I'm
last
certified.
week?
I did it in the last week.
Oh, my God.
And it's cool because it just kind of taught me how to communicate with cats in a way that I had never done before. And I thought it would be cool if I communicated with Lily, the one cat in the room. You know, I'm certified now.
Please do.
Is that
yeah.
okay?
Yeah, you have my blessing.
Oh my God, this is actually very exciting.
it's very fun for me.
Should he have to display his certification? You're just going to trust him with this?
I'll email it after. It's
All
fine.
right.
Yeah,
don't
just
worry about that.
send it
First
to
of
me.
all, okay. All right, so now that I've got Lily in my sights, yeah. All right, so I'm just going to kind of close my eyes. Oh, there you are, Lily. And this is an interesting thing that I learned for the $70 is that cats mostly communicate via images. Do you guys have any questions for Lily?
I mean, Nick.
Yeah, I guess. And I can ask Lily anything I want?
She really tensed up when she heard your voice.
Okay. Should I not, or do I ask a question?
Oh, I'm seeing a lot of really... Oh, there's something going on between you guys.
Oh, boy.
Other than
Hold
like
on.
her being
I'm seeing
my
a lot
cat?
of... Okay, let me just try to see. I'm getting images. There's like smoke. There's a lot of smoke. I'm seeing like
Okay.
a very regal building.
Regal, like the movie theater, or
You
It's
do go
just-
to a lot
No,
of
it's like a
movies.
sort of like just a very official building.
like a church?
Yeah, and you're with a bunch of people. I
Okay.
don't.
Maybe.
Oh, Lily. Okay, I got a few more images. I don't think I should keep going.
What?
What? No, you got to. Why
Wait
don't you
a
tell it?
minute.
All right, so Regal built. What are we talking about here?
I mean, I think you just tell us the truth. If we don't want to put it on the podcast, like we can cut it. But like,
Yeah,
I'd
what-
like to hear it.
What could it even be?
Is it embarrassing for me?
Yeah, I think it's really embarrassing.
Oh,
now.
well, then you
wait
got to.
a
I mean,
minute.
share it with the podcast.
I think it's actually not only embarrassing. I think it actually could be bad for the pod.
Oh, well, then definitely say it. I gotta get.
Yeah,
the
you
fuck
got
out of
you.
this thing.
We can't let you stop now for the
I
integrity
mean-
of this
All right,
podcast.
I don't want to split the group, but I don't want to.
I'm seeing a bunch of powerful figures. I'm seeing a bunch of powerful figures on a stage, and then I'm seeing a big crowd.
Well, it certainly wasn't.
Nick is in it, but basically Lily's not there. So I guess Lily's POV is she's watching the news. Lily's watching the news right now.
Oh my God.
MSNBC.
Wait.
It's a lot of it's on all the channels, but it's basically her and Ashley watching MSNBC, and I guess Ashley's on the phone and she's crying.
Regal building. Could this be the Capitol?
You know, it looks a lot like the.
Whoa.
the catapult.
Nick, where were you on
Sorry.
January 6th?
Wait, hold on.
I apologize.
Anyway, let's
I
get
don't
back
want to
into it.
ruin anything.
Nick, where were you on January 6th,
I mean,
2021?
other than Washington D.C., or I guess you have to be more specific on the time.
Where in Washington, D.C. were you on
Other-
January 6th, 2021?
I mean, I was at the Capitol,
Oh
but
my-
it had nothing to do with anything but storming it. I was storming the Capitol.
Where were you in the storming of the Capitol on January 6th, 2021?
I was the guy who took a shit on Pelosi's desk. Is there? You guys knew that coming into this.
I did
no?
not. I didn't know that. I don't know. I feel a little trapped being here because I committed to the.
Well, there's the
podcast.
fucking door.
I know, but this is
Okay,
my microphone.
and you know what? I'm getting one last message from Lily. Oh, this is actually really upsetting. She's saying, "Why didn't you take me with you?"
Oh,
That's actually kinda
Lily.
sweet.
She's not a
but-
traveling cat.
Not a
We've talked
traveling
about
cat,
this.
but clearly is very political. Has a lot of opinions. I don't love that for Lily, but I think I'm gonna disconnect right now. I feel uncomfortable.
Oh, that's fine with me. You've ruined my career. Great. And of all weeks to lose my edit button on my laptop, of all the weeks, absolutely ridiculous.
Man, it's one thing for you to storm the Capitol, but Lily.
You just couldn't do it. You think there was a cat there? Do we think there was one of those guys had to bring a cat? There's so many of those freaks who walk around with the cats on their shoulders, and it seems like that group of people is likely to have 4 or 5 of them.
I bet there were more iguanas than cats.
There was that guy who had all the fur on him.
Yeah.
Maybe some
Oh
of that
yeah,
was
the
cat fur.
QAnon shaman.
That could some of that could
He was
be
part
fur.
cat.
There are a ton of pussies
Hello. That's the end of that segment.
All right, now we're ready. Now that we're done with the real bit, let's do some comedy.
Yeah, well, I think just one last thing, because this kind of brings up a great question. If you could ask your cat one question and get a legitimate answer from your cat, what would it be? We can do just a rapid fire here.
Where are the bodies?
It's a great question. Again, Lily comes off terrible.
Well, she's a 4.5.
I want to know a bigger, like a general, like, are you happy here? Is there anything I can get for you that would make your life better?
Seems like you're getting him everything he needs
I know, but
whenever
it's like,
he wants.
Do you like this food? Would you rather have a different kind of food? Do you like the cat tree thing, or do you want more
Just
stuff
say the real
like
question.
Do you like my stand-up?
me?
that? Am I doing a good job? Am I making you happy?
I have a question.
That's the kind of question.
Do you love me, Dad?
Do you have feelings for me? Yeah.
He does.
Yeah,
I
I'm
know,
sure
but
he
I
loves
want to hear
you.
it from
I'm sure
him.
he does.
He allows you to pick him up and stuff. You know what I mean? And he doesn't have a problem with that.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
What's your question?
My question I will ask my cat, and this is something big. What would you do if we brought a kitten in here?
That's a great
That's a
question.
great
Yeah.
What would you do?
question.
Because I sometimes feel bad for her that she has nobody to hang out with, and like we're just like not enough for this cat. Like she just sleeps over there. People be, no, that's what cats do. I think she wants more out of life, and we've taken her away from like an indoor-outdoor situation. She's now permanently indoors. Like even if she's kind of bothered 50% of the time by a cat, but the other 50% of the time she's like, let me go see what this fucker's doing. Like I would be fine with it, but we are so afraid that she is a cat that if you brought a kitten in, she'd never look at it and then just start pissing everywhere. And so
there's
it's
an
like,
element of chaos. You don't
it's
know.
like, I don't know.
Good
I don't
question.
know. 'Cause
Good question.
They always say adopt, like if they're sisters, make sure you adopt the sisters
Right.
and
Yeah,
adopt
bonded
in
cats.
pairs,
Yeah.
bonded cats. But like your fucking cats hate each other.
Yeah, but they also Holiday is just this weird cat, and we brought them in, and you know, I brought another really playful cat in who hadn't really had another cat to play with and didn't know how to play with her and wants to play rough, and this cat who just wants to sleep all day is just getting tackled every other day. So yeah, it wasn't a good mix. We wouldn't have done that on purpose, except
That's love.
their
dude.
parents fell in love.
Yeah. I mean, you never know what you're getting.
I have a question that I would ask my cat if I could, which is, do you know that we neutered you?
Oh,
That's interesting.
Like, does that bum you out? I feel like there's something about just thinking about you're taking some real important essence from the cat. I get why we do it. You got to do it, but it does kind of bum me out.
Yeah, we didn't do it, so I don't. I feel guilt free.
Yeah,
I feel guilt free.
A vet did it. I didn't do it myself.
the monster did it.
Your cat wasn't neutered, even though your cat came from some other.
No, he
place?
came sans balls. But like we've said,
Right.
he was owned by another person. He just
Right,
had some
right,
years on the street. I would actually, I mean, besides just asking Marv like how he even got here, which is a big question, I think more specifically than that, I just kind of have this. He gets up when I'm making the bed. He gets up on the bed and he just flips out. He loves it. He loves he tries to help. He'll I'll be tucking a sheet in. He'll walk over and he'll kind of try to do it too. And I just want to know what the fuck is going on.
Absolutely not.
He's
I call
not
bullshit
trying
on
to
that.
help.
He's trying to do something. When I start making the bed, he
The
hears it.
sheets are
He
moving.
runs in.
That's all. He's playing with sheets that are moving.
Greg gets up
He-
and plays with the sheets for sure.
Marv,
So does
I
the
will
dog.
tuck the sheets into the headboard, and Marv will try to press them down for me. I
Oh
swear
my
to
I
fucking
think I knew.
God.
I think I knew this podcast would mostly just be proving how insane we all are. I didn't think it would happen so soon.
I'm not saying he's smart. I want to know the answer. What is it about this that you find fun?
Okay, that's good. That's
Let
good.
the sheet
That's a good
move.
question. That's good.
Yeah, we'll
It's-
see. We'll see when I get that answer.
I
You're
got
not
a
Marv, so you don't know.
That's
This
fair.
segment, this segment could go forever. I have a million fucking questions. I want to know when my cat is, we'll be playing, or sometimes you're up his belly and he's like, I'm not into this, and they do the rabbit kicks or they are biting you. I want to be when you are biting me. What,
Are you trying to kiss
Are you
me?
trying to kill me? No, I want to know you're trying to because sometimes they wrap around and they bite, and it feels like they're doing it kind of with all their force, but it hurts a little, but it's not any. I'm are you trying Are you trying to rip my arm off, or do you really just think you're trying to tell me to please stop?
I do want to know how my dumbass cat knows that I've walked away from her to attack me from behind. Like, it is interesting. I'm not, like on her level. Like, just because I've turned I've done a heel turn, and I'm now headed towards the refrigerator. She knows that's the time to go for my ankle. And when I turn around to her, she's laying like she's a cute cat. It is interesting. I would like to know where she gets her instincts from.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Midway through, I realized I was being boring. Let's do our cat of the week.
I think it's time.
Okay, so we do a segment almost every week called Cat of the Week. I think we forgot a few times, but that's okay.
We'll probably forget again.
Doesn't really matter.
Real quick, I think and you can cut this off if you want. I think we should ask people. We're gonna have an email address, right?
Nah.
let's not worry about that.
Let's do. I want people should be able
It'll
to
be in
write
the show
in.
notes.
I'm
Adam,
It's in the show notes.
If there's an email address,
Gmail.z.
Yeah.
It's definitely PuzzyBoyz@gmail.com. There's
We'll
no
get
way that PuzzyBoyz
all
is
right,
not.
PuzzyBoyz, Z's for all the S's. Write us in
I will
what
say,
questions.
write a review on the pod
Write a review on the pod
and leave a question for your cat.
And what would you want to ask your cat if they could answer a question?
Oh,
that's a great thing to read.
We'll read
We
some.
questions.
Maybe we should skip Cat of the Week because it's just the talking
There just weren't
TikTok
any.
cat.
There weren't
and
any.
it doesn't really matter. I'm actually more curious in this that is on the rundown that we forgot. What songs do you sing your cat? We can end with this. And Danny, you said you had a made-up song that you sung your cat.
Right. Well, when
when you were saying you would never sing it live.
I can't sing it.
can say
no. Look,
But if
I
you just say
can't-
the lyrics, it's going to sound like weird cat poetry.
I opened up my heart and I showed you my songs.
that song was something to be proud of.
Well, oh boy, how bad is this song?
No, look, I think it would be a disservice because this is the deal. I'm not just doing it myself. It's me and my wife. Marv has learned to demand that we do this. He coaxes us through meowing over to the bed. We both have to be on the bed and petting him as we sing this song. And
Sade's
he loves
smooth
it.
operator.
He loves
Never
it.
been more confident.
I wish
Eye
it
of the
was a
Tiger.
song that was in the lexicon. that
No,
people
because then we
knew.
couldn't sing it. But you can sing it now.
I cannot sing this song.
And-
I will just let you know that its title is Baby Kitty.
Say it, Dan.
I
can't
think
do it. I
You got to
can't do it.
collab.
What
with
about you? You
Nick.
have a song. You sing.
So mine aren't. Mine are more like just real quick song altered lyrics of songs we already know. Like actually, the one that I say the most whenever I walk in a room and Greg's already there. It's to the sound the melody of Mr. Bucket. The old
Mr. Bucket.
Yeah,
Buckets
I
of
walk in the
fun.
room. I'm like, it's Mr. Greggy. He's Greggy's a fun. Then he puts the balls in his mouth or whatever. But no, but Mr. Greggy. And then a lot of times when I'm giving him his greenies, Tom Petty's Free Fallin' comes in. It's just he's a good boy.
I do that one. That's
Crazy
crazy.
about greenies. Do you do that?
We do that same melody of different lyrics, obviously.
What do you do
'cause he
for the
hates
lyrics?
Greenie. Oh, you switch him up
He's a
every
good
time.
boy?
He's a good boy, obviously, is the starting line.
Amazing. Yeah,
He's a
I
good
don't.
boy. Loves his daddy.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's great. And Jesus
Oh my God.
and his
I feel
boyfriend
sorry
too.
for both of your cats.
Oh, I
Sure,
wrote down.
yeah. I feel sorry for
No,
both
it's
of your unloved cats.
Weezer has a song called Holiday, so I do
Sure.
Holiday every time I see her, and then also to the song Celebrate Holiday. We got those for
Love
built-in
that.
ones. I have done the Miss America theme for Greg before. Here he comes, the best cat in the world. I just got a rotating. You guys are looking at me
I
like
love
I'm
that.
weird, but these are fun.
I have one.
I'm just
recurring
tired.
Thing. Yeah, no. I think I have one. This isn't really a song that I sing to Mochi, but it is sort of a recurring little bit that I do, which is anytime Mochi walks from behind the couch or something where I don't see her, and all of a sudden I see her, I do the Stone Cold like.
That's really fun.
And I think it's really fun. And my vision, and this is what, if maybe someone on the pod can help me do it, my vision is I want to set up like a sound pad. I want a little like touchpad outside of her litter box that every time she comes out, she steps on it, it makes the Stone Cold music.
Nice.
I think you
So
gotta
it's
do
like
this.
after she takes a dump, it's. I just think that's so fun.
I think that's you can make that. You could rig that up.
That's a TikTok waiting to be made.
Yeah, but then I got it.
Viral TikTok.
But what would the Chinese government do with it?
I don't think I sing any songs to my cat. I
Wow.
talk to my cat
What
in
a
a voice.
fun way to end that.
Well, you gonna
Yeah.
show the cat the new song you wrote?
I go, Lily's a little stinky.
All right, here's one you can use. I'm the cat man. Wee ba 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 doo boo.
That's a good one.
You can steal this one for me. I say Greggy, but you could change it to Lily. It's to the tune of Aerosmith's "Janie's Got a Gun." Sometimes when Greg catches like a cricket or something, I'll go, "Greggy's got a bug." You can.
Let the record show Nick is in full control of the soundboard.
Very judgy, but he hasn't come up with.
You know
one.
what, Nick? Here's what your attitude sounds like.
And that is the podcast, guys. Make sure it's all Z's when you Google us to find out where
No
this
reason.
podcast.
No reason at
No
all.
reason at all. That's PuzzyBoyz, all Z's, one word. Follow us on everything you can follow us on. Enjoy this podcast every time it comes out. Rate and review. Subscribe.
Send it to your grandmas.
And check out the show notes.
Yeah, show notes
Very
are big.
important.
Most of the show is happening in the show notes, folks. You should know that. And with that, goodbye.
Meow.
Horrendous.
I thought that was a really good app.
that part in.
I thought it was a good
We're about 21 minutes over an hour, but.